We are recording, and if you are unable to stay the entire time, don't worry about it. If you registered for the event, you will get a copy of the replay, and this will be turned into a podcast and launched on Friday. So how's everybody feeling? Are you excited? This is Table Talk. This is Hustle Edition. And last Hustle Edition was so powerful. I didn't think anything could top it. But now, not only are there 3 moguls in the making joining us here tonight, but it's also Women's History Month. And I think it's just fitting that these beautiful ladies grace the virtual stage. So y'all know how this goes. I have just a couple of things for you guys. Again, this is 3H Table Talk, and every month we come to you with a new theme. And this month, our theme is root work. We take each pillar of our brand, Homestead, Hustle, and Healing, and we break down week by week how that applies to the overall theme. So if you were with us on Tuesday, we had the first installment, and that was Root Work Homestead Edition. We got down and dirty and talked about how we can prepare for the season, how we can lay a foundation in our homesteads and in our gardens so that we're set up to win the rest of the season. And so I want to do the same thing tonight for Hustle Edition and really make it so that when we are thinking about turning our passions into profit, that we set a good, strong foundation. And I don't know anybody more equipped than these 3 women to take us through that process. I am so excited about tonight. When I was making that promo video, I was like, oh my God, I just love them so much. I don't really want to share them with y'all, but I'm nice, so I'm going to share them. I have the pleasure of knowing these ladies off of the camera, and I can tell you that they are 100% authentic. They can't be anything else but real. They don't know how to do it. So you're about to get raw, unfiltered, and uncut, but it's going to be a wealth of knowledge. All right. So I welcome you to 3H Table Talk Root Work Hustle Edition. All right. So you guys know me. I know you're tired of hearing me introduce myself, but I'm going to do it again anyways because I'm here and it's mine. So I get to do that every time. I'm still getting used to this toggling the screen thing, so bear with me. But I would like to say the chat is where it's at. Okay, y'all? Have your private conversations. It doesn't make us know, never mind. Go ahead and have your conversations, laugh, ask questions. Jay is in the chat with you. She is amazing. We haven't come up with a name for her yet. She is a DJ. No, she's our DJ. She's in control of the playlist. So if you have any suggestions for what we should call our wonderful moderator, please drop them in the chat. All right. So she is here for all of your tech needs. She's here for any questions you may have. And ask your questions. If you're anything like me, you forget as soon as you think it. I don't want you to lose your thoughts. So go ahead, write your question down in the Q&A. Sometimes if you put your question in the chat, it can get lost with all the juicy conversation that we're having. So I want you to put it in the Q&A. You can find it either on the top or the bottom of your screen. All right? So let's kind of get started. Is everybody ready? Are we ready?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we're going to have way more people come through it. Also, we're live on YouTube. So if the Zoom thing's not for you, we're live on YouTube and you can catch the replay as well. All right, let's get to it. Y'all ladies ready? We ready?
Yes.
That was my dryer. This is real life. Okay.
This is real life.
This is real life. I have to remind them sometimes. I do.
Listen.
All right. So I will go first. My name is Vanessa. Like you didn't know that already, right? No, my name is Vanessa, and I am the founder of Homestead, Hustle, and Healing. I am on a mission to end food insecurity in minority communities through garden education, coaching, and overall self-reliance. So this is my brand, Homestead Hustle and Healing. I refer to it as 3H because I'm lazy, just like I'm a lazy gardener. I'm who you go to for all of your gardening needs, but I make sure to curate spaces to get you everything you need to grow in and out of the garden. So that's why we're here. All right. I'm not going to go, y'all know me. Google me. All right. Next, we have Sandy, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. Go ahead, Sandy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sandy, the Spotlight Diva from Miami, Florida, also known as Miss Haitian Sensation, aka Pound Cake. I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited, and I'm amongst amazing women, so I'm really excited.
Yes. Yeah.
Miss Pound Cake. Is that because you bake pound cake? Can I get cake?
Oh no! I work the other 9 to 5.
We're not getting into that.
Okay, yeah, that's
okay.
That ain't for
Okay,
this.
you gotta let me know. Let me know the no zones. Let me know.
Oh my God.
Hey, for Haitian Sensation and all the other names. I'm gonna have to Google some things when we done.
Listen.
Well, you look quite buttery to me, Sandy.
Oh my gosh.
I knew it. I put the men on here and it's dead silent. You know, it's just very respect. I put y'all on here and it's lit.
Had a live crew, girl.
So
yes.
next up we have Kareen from the Kente Club. Kareen, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Of course. My name is Kareen. Most people via social media know me as Kareen Fawasi. That's like an alias, right? And I am the creative director and owner of the Kente Club Co. And I'm definitely happy to be here today.
Thank you. If you guys haven't connected with her, and just the talent this woman has is from another time and place. Okay. I don't know how she does it. And she's just awesome. I love her. I didn't know it was pronounced like that because my super drinking self was saying, Quincy, is Quincy. I did not know. So now I know. Now I know. I'm learning new things. I'm learning. Okay. It's about growth. Okay.
Growth.
Ooh, you see it though? Yeah, I know. So last but definitely not least, I don't even know how her personality fits on the screen, honestly. I feel like it's fighting to get out, and I wrangled her here for y'all, okay? I'm tired and all, because I know she does 50 million things. Yeah. I would like to introduce you guys to Widleen. Widleen, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am glad to be here with you guys. Again, my name is Woodleen St. Simon, also known as Lynn, and I am owner of Hearts and Hands Doula Services and Lanvers Marketing. I am also right-hand woman to my best friend, my sister, Nikki Nugues of Curls Dynasty, and I am happy to be here with you all. I'm elated, and I'm excited about dropping some gems, for everyone, and also pulling in everything I possibly can for myself, So I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Definitely. She promised gems. Did you hear that?
Yes.
She promised gems, y'all. All right, yes. She got a lot to live up to. You shouldn't go too hard in the beginning now. Now we're holding you to these gems.
No, okay? Trust me.
Right.
I got y'all.
All right. So you guys know how this works. We're going to ask a series of questions. We're going to be candid. We're going to give you guys the no-holds-barred responses that are really going to help us and you all get to the root of how do we make the most of the things that just we love to do and that draw, first let me just say, I did this at the end of last episode. I'm going to do it at the beginning. Just so there's no misunderstandings here. Who has a full-time job and still manages to hustle? Can I get a raised hand from you ladies?
Oh, well, listen, I crossed over, but I know
okay.
that feeling.
I have a job.
I've been there.
I have a whole job or recently had a job. Because I feel like when we talk about these things, and it came up in the homesteading piece too, when we talk about this life that we want to create for ourselves.
Right.
People often get stopped, or they stop themselves by thinking that these things, our dreams, can't be attained while we are where we're planted. And that was last month's theme, growing where you're planted. And I'd like to just break that whole assumption that you can't build your dreams while you are in a position right now to feed your family. Mm-hmm. And on the last Hustle edition, they talked about, waiting to cross over to make sure that everything is solid on the back end. And then some people talked about taking that risk. So it's really up to you and your situation. But I want it to be clear that we do have a mix here, and we're all talking from different places, but we've all been where you guys are.
Right.
So I want to make that clear.
Right.
All right. So we did our little poll between us. Again, ask your questions. They will get lost in the chat. Believe me, I've done enough of these. Ask your questions in the Q&A. All right. So let's get straight to it. I always start with story time. I love story time. We're going to be talking from passion to profit. Our theme is root work, but as it pertains to hustling and just the hustle, it could be a side hustle, it could be your full hustle. And even when you start the business, you might have a side hustle to your full business. I'm sure most of us on here have multiple things going on, not just one thing, or you have something fully going and you're working on something in your head. Yep. It's never just one thing. So when I'm talking about hustling, I'm not talking about, just a side hustle. I think people get caught up in the side hustle talk. All right, so we're talking from passion to profit, and I would love to start with, who's my first victim? My question is, tell us how you became an entrepreneur. And I'm going to go easy this time. I'm going in the order of my screen, and I'm going to start with Lean.
All right. It's so funny that with the whole poll and everything, and it's probably been 2 years since I made that leap of faith where it was like, okay, it's time. Like, I need to be able to give 100% of my time to what it is I want to do. So looking back, my journey really started with becoming a doula and a midwife. Like, I always, knew that, that I had something inside of me that wanted to go beyond like the box. Like, you grow up in a home where your parents tell you what they want you to be and everything like that. And that's all you envision until you're tired, and you want to break out of it. So my story really did begin at Miami Maternity Center. And I always tell people when it comes to passion, and this was told to me, and so I've been feeding it on to others. If you think about your greatest frustrations, then you can become part of the solution, for it. And for me, that's how entrepreneurship started for me, as far as branching out and doing my own thing as a doula and as a midwife instead of being stuck in one place. And the reason why it started is because I had a major problem on how women were being treated. Black women specifically were being treated in the healthcare system. I did not like how Black women were being treated in the hospitals. I didn't like that Black women were being forced into C-sections. And there is a ratio there. There's a difference when it comes to Black women and white women. And so I took all of that frustration and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and branch out, start my own doula services, do my own childbirth classes. I left Miami Maternity Center. I started doing free classes at Babies R Us. And that's how I was gaining my clients. By doing the free classes, clients would sign up, for me to become part of their whole birth story, their whole labor, and to become their midwives. And that's how I was, basically gaining clientele from that. Then it went from that to literally my best friend needing me. Like, She started her own business, Curls Dynasty. As some of you know, it's a natural hair care line. And what midwifery did for me is that it taught me that I love helping others. That's the thing. Like, I love to be part of things. And so when my best friend literally, started Curls Dynasty, and I realized that, you know what, she couldn't do this by herself. Like, it was really weighing down on her. I told her, I was like, listen, like, I'm here, let me come in and let me see how I can add value to what it is that you've already started. So I literally came in, did my research on how I could help her brand herself, because she's not me. She's the very quiet, doesn't want anybody to know who she is, doesn't care to be in the limelight. I'm like, here I am, do your thing. And so I literally had to break her and show her that, listen, you need to embrace your story. You need to tell the people your story. Tell the people how you started this thing in your kitchen, in your laundry room, Tell the people how your first job was at Target and the first retail store you landed was Target. Like, I'm telling you, like, I came in and I put a whole storyline together for her, coached her, taught her how to be a little bit more personable, right? Relatable, and put yourself out there. And so what Curls Dynasty did for me is it tested me as a brand strategist and as a personal branding strategist on how to help people be comfortable with telling your story. It doesn't have to be a sob story. It doesn't have to be controlled. It is what it is. Whatever your story is, put it out there, And so again, to go back, it started with midwifery, helping others. Then my best friend needed me, helping her. And here I am today, like, about to start my own marketing firm and helping other people to, again, know how to tell their story and be comfortable in their skin and know how to put their brands, out there. So that's basically, how that started.
I love that. I love that. And I think when we think about entrepreneurship, we think about ourselves being in the limelight,
right,
at all times, and not thinking about the value. Sometimes when we say, oh, add value to your client, well, for you, it was a different thing, but your value turned into, helping other people grow instead of you sticking with the doula or sticking with, obviously you ain't going nowhere. Curls Dynasty needs you, but sticking with that, you also said, well, who am I? Right. And I think that was a part of your bio as well. Let's move on. Next on my screen is the diva herself, Miss Sandy. Come on and tell me how you became an entrepreneur.
My turn. Okay. So how did I become an entrepreneur? Okay, so I moved out, like I told you, I was in Miami, but I moved after I graduated from school. I moved out to Los Angeles to pursue my career in acting and modeling. So, like Within, I'm a big baller personality. Like, I bust out to LA, like, 300 plus pounds. Like, I want to be, actually, I want to be a model. And Hollywood looked at me like, you cute, but no, it's not gonna happen. I said, excuse me? Oh, okay. I went on, and that was directly to my face. Like, someone, they said it just like that, but they were a little whatever, but they said it just like that, like, you're a pretty girl, but no. This is before the Aberration days, before Monique, before Queen Latifah, before all of that.
Give me 1 second, Sandy. Your audio is breaking up.
Okay.
Your audio is breaking up. I would switch to your phone if you can. Switch to your phone if you can.
How do I? Okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Let me see.
I'm gonna give you a second to do that, and while you do, I'm gonna go over to Kareem. And we're gonna get back to your Hollywood drama, because I've never known anyone who went to Hollywood and made it out alive. So. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Kareem,
Yes,
Tell me how you became an entrepreneur.
So basically it started when I was into Carnival a couple years back. So, you know, you get the wire bras and things, and the bra was, I asked the girl to make a bra for me, and I never got it. And I was like, okay, well, let me try to figure out how to do this on myself, because I still want to go to the event, right? So I remember I went to a carnival in the island, and I had old materials from that, and I completely took apart that costume and remade it. And I had African fabric, and I just wrapped fabric around it, and I made the first bra. And I posted it, and that was my first post to ever go viral. And it was like 1,000 likes before people were getting 1,000 likes, right? On Instagram. This was like 2016. And so I'm like, okay, people are writing me. People must have shared my thing on Pinterest. People are pins are going viral, and people are DMing me, hey, I found you on Pinterest. So, and I'm like, I'm on Pinterest. I never posted on Pinterest, but so I'm like, hey, okay, well, this wire bra thing is really nice. So yeah, I started making wire bras, right? And then so I have an older sister, and apparently I've always been creative from when I was in Jamaica. Like, let's say I had a white shirt, I'd cut it up and do this and do that. Don't throw the shirt away. I'll make it into something else. I've always been like that. So one day, I was at work. I used to work in corporate as a digital marketing manager, project manager, brand strategist, all that for like pet supermarket, biotech companies, like really big name brands, right? And my sister's like, you know, Kareen, you should go have your own business. Stop working. I'm going to fully support your bills, and I want you to do that. My sister is like 52. She's way older than me. She's 19 years older than me. So I'm like, daughter, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to, so I quit my job. You don't have to tell me twice. I don't have commitment issues when it comes to jobs. I will leave, right? So I left my job, and 3 weeks later, she gets diagnosed with cancer, right? So it was like, wow. So I'm out of work, and now she's not working, and it is not really, you know, but I still kept pushing. I started making bras, just making stuff. I named the company the Kente Club Co. Didn't really have, it wasn't really solid, right? It was just me just doing things to get money, but it wasn't like marketing plans, strategies, photo shoots, anything like that. It was really a lot of crafting. I think I was more so crafter, right? So I do that. And with anything, and when you're an entrepreneur, you know, sometimes you'll have great months, and then sometimes some months you don't get $1, right? So those months when I didn't have any money, I'm like, hey, I got to go back to corporate work. But I couldn't balance working for corporate America and doing my own thing, because I give 1,000% to all that I do. So I would have given all of my creativity to a separate company. By the time I got home, I don't want to make anything. I'm not trying to craft anything like that. So that's how it was for 3 years. Kente Club Co. has been around since 2017, right? But I've always been super inconsistent with it. And within the last year now, I had been working for a biotechnology company as a project manager, and I gave them 2,000%. And I sat there and I was like, you know, if I would have given myself this type of energy, imagine where my brand would be right now, right? Because I mean, I work in marketing, so I know exactly what to do. I know how to, I've shot commercials, I've done all these things, so I know what to do. I've designed website, I've made flyers, like I know what to do. So why don't you just offer yourself? And that's how, I know the Kente Club Co. has been around since 2017, but I personally say that I started taking it seriously last year. So yes, I became an entrepreneur in 2017 and had some unfortunate situations happen around it. But I really say the brand really became a real company last January. That's when I really started to take it seriously. So the Kente Club Co. has like 2 startings. It has like its drafting stage, the idea, and it's Kareen, leave your job for real and give it 1,000%. And I've literally been able to survive working just with the Kente Club Co. since last February up until this current February. And I just started to go back to work because I want to work with some PR agencies, and I don't want to tap into the business fund to pay for that. So I want to, you know how that goes when you don't want to use off the business money to pay for certain things. But yeah, that's how I got started. So 2 starts. with my sister pushing me to kind of go full force creativity, because I'm always in and out of jobs, and she knows that I'm a creative and that's what I really want to do. And then last year with me pushing myself to really take stuff seriously and understand that, like, you know, you have to push through those times when you don't make money for the month. You know, you have to get over those humps. You can't try to run to work somewhere when times are rough, because with all brands, you have your off season and your on season. And it's about really studying those seasons so you understand how your brand and your audience works. And then you can make the money stretch across that. So yeah, that's my story.
Exactly. But you also did what was needed. A lot of people don't realize the struggle of entrepreneurs, you know, of how hard that you may go, especially if you have a team. You pay everybody else before you pay yourself, you know, because you believe in a vision that is, you know, more than you. So I commend you on stepping out and saying, I want to do this because it will take us to the next level. So I got to do what I got to do right now, not forever, right now, to get us to that next level. And I'm so sorry to hear about your sister. Is she better now?
Yeah, she's better. It was actually like a double whammy. Like, she caught it, then my dad caught it. So it was like just a lot going on, but everybody is like completely, it's out of their system. Like, everyone's doing way better.
Look at God.
Yeah, right?
Hey, no, that's a win and a gem right there. Boom.
Yeah.
Ain't it?
Yeah.
So we already got you know, we got a whole testimony. I didn't even ask for that. Go ahead. Come on, testimony. And we got also from Kareem that you need to study your season, that everything's not going to be a high and everything on the flip side isn't going to be a low. And just because it's not happening right now or in this season. And that's what I love. And that's why I bring homesteading in the gardening aspect in with these other areas of our lives, because seasons don't always happen in the garden. We go through seasons in our businesses. We go through seasons. Her family had illness. That's a season. But guess what? Everything about seasons is they pass. They may come back around again, but you go through a season. You don't sit down and you don't pitch a tent in a season. You go through the season. So this is dope. All right, Sandy. Miss
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, this is so weird doing it on the phone. This is
so weird. I know. I had to get used to it too. And I forgot, like, I will mute myself and not really be muted. So it's a learning curve. We can hear you just
Sorry,
fine.
Serene, I couldn't hear everything because we was having so much.
It's okay. You can catch the replay.
It was a hot mess. Yes, I will, because I saw Serene like talking. I'm like, oh, I'm missing it. I'm like, I want to hear it.
Yeah, it's good, right? It was good. Right. All right. So in episode 1, we said that we had went to Hollywood, and what they said in Hollywood. Yes. Tell us again, because I think we missed it.
Right. So after I left Miami, went to LA to pursue my dreams of being an actress and a model. And Hollywood told me straight up to my face, like, you're too big, you're too dark skinned to make it, to be successful in this arena. And I said, like, to my face, like, really? And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like, okay. So I had to process some things. I was like, okay, like, what do you do next? Like, what do you do with that information when somebody's like, you know, blatantly in your face telling you this? And this is before Gabourey Sabidade, before the Moniques, before all of that. So I'm like, okay. I still went out to, like, I worked. I was working. I moved out there. I became a researcher for the union. And so I was working and also going, you know, doing modeling gigs, going to casting calls, going to auditions. And when that was said to me, you know, I was like, okay. I went home, called my best friend. I'm like, good. Let me tell you what these people just said. Like, but they don't know me out here because Miami is in me. And it almost came, you know, out. So I was like, okay. I got frustrated. I was like, okay, like, I'm really getting told no at these auditions when I know I'm delivering the goods. I'm like, okay, is this really what's stopping me? So I'm like, no, I'm not. Out of frustration, talking to her, venting, she's letting me talk. I'm popping off. Y'all know Miami style, pop off. And I'm like, I just need one chance. Like, somebody give me one chance to show you what I can do. And that's when One Chance Entertainment started. And that was my boutique production company where I'm like, I want to represent underrepresented talent, plus size talent. So if you're not going to give me a platform, I'll create my own platform. So I started doing fashion shows. And so One Chance Entertainment was my company. Like, we did it all. Like, we started with the fashion shows. I started doing fashion shows, and all the plus size women were coming out. And I was like, oh. Then it became, so I got 5 shows under my belt. Like, I went city to city, Miami, Tallahassee, Orlando, and of course, LA. And I was like listening to women, plus size women like me, because we all don't have the same story. We all don't share the same journey as a full-figured woman. So I started listening to them. My fashion shows, before y'all seen choreography in mainstream, I was doing choreography. We were dancing, modeling, walking, doing it all. Like, my women are still off the chain. And we were showing people that, no, big girls can dance, we can model, we can do all of this. Like, why are we being overlooked? So that started my journey in entrepreneurship, One Chance Entertainment, starting my own production company. I'm like, I could do what they do. Let me start with fashion shows, then I'll branch off to, TV, commercials, all that stuff. But right now we're going to do the fashion. I'm going to show these people that, excuse you, I'm here and I'm here to stay. I'm not going nowhere. So that's how I started. And then it branched out to a whole mamma jamma where I did, Jean-Philippe Boutique. So if I'm in fashion, they need clothes, right? So I'm like, I might as well, I want to do a fashion line because like I said, moving out there, I was over 300 pounds when I first moved out there. So my plus size is not the same as a size 14, a size 12, a 24, a 30, 32. So I wanted to create trendy clothes, for curvy women. I'm going to look like wearing a muumuu. I'm going to wear a muumuu, only 5 days out the month maybe, or, when I'm relaxing at home. But I want to be trendy like Kareem and Whitley. I want to, wear the type stuff. So I created a fashion line. I worked with different brands, and just everything that I was doing was always curves related, because that's how Evolution of Curves is what put me on the map. And so that put me on the map where I was able to get on television and like convince Hollywood. Now, like Lynn was saying, what came to full circle, like how Target, she worked at Target, and now Target was her first retailer. Sorry, retailer. So for me, Hollywood told me no as soon as I got there. So now I had to present to Hollywood again. Sean of William, one of those big modeling agencies, Sean Patterson, the Pussycat Doll, Melanie, not the main one, the second one, Melanie Thornton, Vanessa, and one more person I can't remember, but 4 of them. I had to convince them why I should be given the grand prize to go on tour. And honey, I blew them away. Me and my big plus size models, we danced, we modeled, we showed them everything. They was like, whoa, like, wait a minute, you going? They say you're going on tour. So Evolution of Curves was a show that I did in Orlando. I took that and turned that into a tour. And the rest was history. I started partnering with major brands and launching their plus size line and working with other brands to revamp their plus size line. So everything I was doing was all curvy related, because I'm a big woman. That's the only thing I knew. You know what I mean? That's the only point of view I know. So I knew what our struggles were. So I wanted to show people there's another side to it. There's not the side that society is telling you. Let me show you what it really is, because there are some fly big girls. There are some women that are marrying, high value men. There are some women that are on point. So do not think we out here just sitting, eating potatoes on the couch. And that's what I said in Hollywood. And I was like, okay, yep. So that's what happened in a nutshell. That's how it all started. And it just went from there. I evolved into, you know, like I said, the fashion, the clothing line. Then, as you can see in my bio, tragedy struck, and I had to come back home. I chose to come back home, and my mom had a beauty salon. So I went to cosmetology school, and I became a beauty salon owner. When she passed away, I took over, and then I revamped that, and I had my own, you know, at that time, I had my own brick and mortar beauty salon. And then it just ventured off, like, just everything is just everywhere. Not everywhere, but I have my hands in quite a few things. And then, you know, Divas Brunch Club is like the most recent thing that I've launched. So but what started the entrepreneur route was my passion and my dream going into Hollywood, you know, creating a platform for underrepresented plus size talent. And that was anybody, white, black, Chinese, just you a full-figured person. Just I was the person you come to get seen because I wasn't seen. So you don't want to see me? Now you're going to have to see my whole crew. And I didn't need to know you. I didn't need to know none of that. We just, the thing we shared was we were all plus size and we were getting denied. So that's not going to happen on my watch anymore. And that was it.
Sandy, if you're a thug, just say so.
What?
No, I mean, she really is, though. Like, that's the thing.
Can you
that y'all don't see know.
That image of her just rolling up with the whole beautiful squad? And they might have danced too, like, you gonna see me.
I might have done it. I have to find the clip, like, we were dancing.
I love that, though. Like, I love that you went over there for a job.
Yeah.
And that job was never meant for you because you're meant for greater. And you accepted the call on your life to say, I'm all right, this door closed, so I'm going to own the building next door. And then you can't help but look out your window and see me. Mm-hmm. And you were okay with that journey. And then when circumstances arose too, you said, bet, this ain't nothing but a dent in the road. This is nothing but a speed bump. This isn't the end of the road. I'm going to come over here and launch Divas Glam Bar, like, and do that. And then I'm not going to stop there. I don't know when you sleep. I'm not going to stop there. I'm also going to do something to bring a sense of community and something that people can look forward to. I'm jealous when I see the ads. I'm like, why did I move from Florida? I'm up here just going to brunch. That's all we do is brunch. Y'all brunch is really lit. And DC lunch, I told you bring it up here. Didn't I say bring it to DC, please? I love it. So I think not just Sandy, I think all of you ladies have done a fantastic job of creating your own lane, creating a space for yourselves where people hadn't even thought of the lane, right? Kareen took her thing of, oh, so you're not going to give me my bra to bet. I'm going to make a whole bra line. And Wileen said, so you're not going to treat us how we deserve? I'm going to own that. Then I'm going to own this. And I'm going to take Target and hopefully Walmart and everybody else. And we're going to make this into an empire. And then you'll have to respect Black women. Okay? Right. So I love all of y'all. You see, we 47 minutes in and we didn't even get to the second question. Okay, so let's go to the second question. All righty. So my next question is, the hustle is real. I want to talk about what hustle means to you. And we already touched on why you do the work you do. And I think you guys did a fabulous job of saying, you know, I wanted to step up for women here and I wanted to help the people around me make it. And in that, I found myself. And I wanted to be able to stand out and make women comfortable with top quality products and also be able to care for my family when they need me. But what does that word hustle mean to you? What is that? We talked last time about how is it a mentality for you? Is it tangible? What does hustle mean to you? And I'm going to start with Kareem. And I know all y'all was thinking about your answers. So I didn't even know who to pick because y'all are like, Let me start with Kareem just because I want to mix it up a bit.
Okay, so for me, hustle is a mentality, and it really means to, hustle is really about organization when it comes to me. Sometimes when you hustle without planning, it's scrambled and you end up just running in a circle, not getting anything done. So for me, hustle is about planning and strategizing. And I've also decided that hustle, just in my definition, is also asking for help. That's something that I think what really held me back before is that I tried to do everything on my own because I want to hustle. But sometimes you can't do everything by yourself. You need help. And I think that is the reason why the company has grown. You actually see ads running is because I actually have a team. And when you have a hustling like co-op, then you can really go further than you strategizing and doing everything by yourself. If I'm strategizing, my admin is strategizing, my operations person is strategizing, that's when you'll be able to have a further leap than just me strategizing by myself. And yeah, that's what hustling, at least my definition, my reform definition, because catch me like 3 years ago, hustling is having my hand in every pot and my brain is going 1,000 miles per hour and I'm not really getting anything done because I'm thinking about so many different things and trying to do everything by myself. So I had to kind of redefine what hustling means for me. And yeah, it's definitely, it's more of like a group effort than a singular effort.
I love that. And that's something I don't think even entrepreneurs do, but definitely I feel like Black women in full don't ask, we just don't ask for help enough. And that we'll find that when we do ask for help, that other people want to see us win, So curate your team of like-minded people who have grit in them, who have grind in them, and then you can make a whole bunch of things happen. All right, Widleen, tell me what hustle means.
For me, honestly, hustle means by any means necessary. Period. By any means necessary. It's so crazy because when Corinne said that she had to, pick up a job to get something else done, that's basically like what hustling means to me. Like I think back to 2019, I think this was when, let me just add this in. I was married 15 years, in the middle of a divorce or whatever. So now I literally have 4 beautiful children that look up to me, every day to make sure that I'm making sure that they're okay. And so back in 2019, around summertime, it's going to be time for them to go back to school or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, man, like I have uniforms to buy, I have school supplies to buy. And mind you, at the time, Curls Dynasty, everybody sees that, your marketing is doing great and you're known and you're in the magazines and people just think you're swimming in money, right? And that's not the case. It's not the case, and here I am just thinking to myself, all right, Lynn, hustle mode. What can you do, right? That's going to benefit people and that's going to also profit you. And so I had to put my thinking cap on. There was this sweet heat detox tea that I used to make for myself. I would do the detox twice a year, drink a few gallons, and I would remember some of my friends would have me make some for them and things like that. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and make some gallons and just sell them, so that I can buy some things for my children, buy their uniforms, buy their stuff. And literally, by any means necessary, I got in my kitchen and let me tell you, I started making them gallons and I started putting out, little ads in my stories and I'm posting and I'm telling my friends. And let me tell you, these gallons were selling like hotcakes, to the point where literally I said to myself, yo, I need to make this a thing. I need to register it and let me really dive into this. But then COVID happened because it was like a year in of me selling gallons. I'm talking about 10, 15 gallons like per day sometimes, like, you know, and so I literally had to just put a hold on it when COVID happened. But again, the hustling mentality really is by any means. Like, I got to do what I have to do, but as long as it is profitable for who I'm beneficial for who I'm providing it for, you know, to, and profitable for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? There has to be a purpose behind the hustle. There has to be, how can I say, again, a passion or a drive somewhere. And all it really does take is for you to just take a moment and just think about, again, what you can do, you know, to help people and how it can in return help you. So that's the hustle for me. It's by any means necessary, as long as those means are legal. You know, they're legal.
That was a necessary caveat.
Right. So that's really what hustle means to me. It means by any means, whatever you got to do to make it happen. You know, sometimes it's going to be things that you may not even have the guts enough to do. That's when you have to fight your fears. That's when you have to put away your pride, put away your ego. I mean, it's really by any means. So that's what the hustle is for me. Yeah.
I love that she defined means, because when we say means, we often mean funds. And everybody likes to put out, takes money to make money, takes money to make money. We can't be in 2021 and still have that mentality.
Yeah.
There's so many resources out here for us, and money might not be what's stopping you from getting to where it might be your pride. It might be your connections. It might be your circle. It might be your procrastination. It might be your priorities.
Yep.
Those means are the things you need to get in order that's going to push you to greatness. So when she says by any means necessary, the money's the least, because you can have all the money, and if you aren't getting up every day and doing what you have to do, the money will stay, and so will your goals. Yep. And time will pass. Time never stops. So you're going to be sitting in the same place next year asking, you know, and you know it. I think we all know as entrepreneurs, like, some friends, this is not the first idea. The successful idea was probably not the first idea. And if you're that person who hasn't gotten their other areas of their life in order, your friend's going to be looking at you like, another idea? When you actually going to do something about it? And you start to lose that tribe. You going to start, you know, and then you start to internalize those things about yourself, that I don't start what I finish, and so on and so forth. And it's a bad place to be, y'all. Yeah. So I love that. I love that by any means necessary. You're a thug too, but it's fine because you're friends with Sandy. So, you know, thugs stick together.
Listen.
And speaking of Miss Pound Cake, I love that. I just love it so much. And I really feel like I love it because it's bad, and that's just how my life is set up. All right. So do you have anything to add, Miss Sandy? What does hustle mean to you?
Both of the ladies really summed it up. For me, I think it is both a mentality and an action. Where for me it was just make a way out of no way. Like that was always my hustle and drive. Like you have to figure it out. Like you didn't have an option. So like hustle for me is grinding, is, you know, figuring out how you're going to do X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. What I didn't have, like the other two ladies, like, you know, I didn't really have the business acumen. Like that wasn't my driving point. I was just driven by emotion and passion, you know, like why, you know, you're not picking me for this, or why are you saying I'm too ugly, or I'm too dark, or I'm too whatever. Like that's what drove me. Like money or profit or anything like that didn't drive me to go into it. So it wasn't later, it wasn't until later on that I figured out like, okay, you got to do a smart hustle. You got to, like Serena was saying, like work.
Time to make that money.
Right. Because passion ain't going to pay the bills, baby. They're going to repo the car. What you going to do? You can't get to the gig. So, so hustle for me is like making a way out of no way. And it is both, I think, a mentality and actually being a go-getter and, not being complacent, like not sitting and just thinking stuff is going to get handed to you, That's me. That's what it means to me.
I love that. Go out and get it. Go out and get it. People always want to say, if it's meant for you, it will be yours. The door will open. But if you don't touch the knob, how are you ever going to open the door?
Hello.
And opportunity knocks, and then they hit it with a period.
Yeah.
Well, people knock at my door all the time. That doesn't mean that I answer.
Just do it.
Yes. you have to meet, your passion with opportunity in the middle so that you guys can actually meld together and create profit. Mm-hmm. So, because Sandy said, profit isn't going to pay the bills. Profit will pay the bills. I promise you. Passion doesn't pay the bills. But I think what makes an entrepreneur is someone who's been able to make that transition. That you're still super passionate, but you've also acquired through your own personal development plan, whether you sat down and made a plan or you're just hungry for you're just hungry for knowledge, that you developed yourself as an entrepreneur to feed your passion to make it profitable. Does that make sense?
Convert that passion to profit. Yes.
We're going to have to copyright that. All right.
Yes.
We kind of making good. We making up. So let me, I lost y'all again. I told you I'm still working on this Zoom life. Okay. Let me share my screen one more time and let's move on to number 3. No, that's number 4. Okay. Number 3, looking back. What were some of the first steps you took when you decided to start your business? Now, we've already talked about a bunch of these, but I want to know if you had anything to add to that. All right, you're at this moment and you're like, okay. So with Lean, it's, perhaps it's I would say after that, because you are very much ingrained in Curls Dynasty, but you want something else, something greater for yourself. Mm-hmm. So what did that moment look like when you said, okay, I've done this, my work here, this is good right now. And I've now decided that there's something else in me that the world deserves to see. Now I need to make a plan. And for Kareen, it's that opportunity when her sister called her out and said, I will do what I need to do, quit your job, start this business. Okay, now I got to make a plan. And for Sandy, it's, okay, they told me no, and this is the only idea I had riding on. Now I need to go out and make it happen. How do you make that plan? So what are those first steps after plans kind of changed or it became apparent to you that the world needed something that you had? So I'm going to start with Sandy this time.
Wait. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm on. Okay. My first steps, I think, what did I do? I think I went to scout venues, like, okay, where am I going to do a show? Where do I go?
Well, even further back than that, when you said, I'm going to do shows, because how do you go from modeling to saying, I'm going to create a whole agency? I'm going to create, how did the show idea, did you sit down and put pen to paper? Did you go back even further?
Got you. Okay. So, yes. So after that phone call with my best friend, I was on a laptop, like researching, trying to figure out, okay, what is a production company? Like, what does that entail? Like, what does that look like for different companies, the big ones, medium level ones? And then I'm like, okay, that's when I kind of research, okay, like Sundays, like, okay. Then I researched business plans. I'm like, oh, wait, a business plan has to be like 30 plus pages. I was like, oh. So I did a little bootleg one. I was like, nah, this not for me. Like, I got to go. Like, so I did research on like how does the black and white look like? And that's what I was like, I got intimidated by that 30 plus page business plan. I was like, no, I'll do the Sundays. I can do that. I have the name already. So I did, do the website, the LLC. So I did those things, and then to make sure that was straight. And then I just started now planning, like, okay, what do I need for a fashion show? Of course, you need the venue. You got to do a casting call. So you need a venue for a casting call. You need a venue for the actual show. So I'm like I'm writing down, like, what do I need? Also, it sounds organized, but no, all of that was in my head too. A lot of it was in my head. I'm like, because I'm like a go. I knew how I'm very good and comfortable at working in chaos, because that's what I knew. Like, it was hard to write things down. You could ask Jay, Sandy, write this. No. I don't want to, like, no, here, this is, I can't, like, it's too much. But I would say things, and I'm like, then I'll go. Like, okay, I want to go this place, or I'll drive somewhere or something. So it was a combination of both, where I did the sit down, the research online for, like, figuring out, okay, what does this company's model look like, and how to go about certain things. And then I would say like 60-70% was going, like, okay, this place looks cool. Okay, maybe here. Oh, how much it costs? No, that's not going to work for me. I got to go, like, figuring out, those things. So that was like some of the first steps that I took, researching certain things as far as business, and actually, like, the actual fashion show itself, what it would entail, what would my ticket cost be, different things like that, figuring those things out.
Nice. I love that. Two things on that. Definitely research. That is, you don't know what you don't know. And we have the advantage that our parents might not have had, to have Beyonce's internet and be able to look things up. And we have YouTube University. Y'all can't tell me y'all don't know nothing no more.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
one more thing.
There's just no excuses out there. And then guess what? If you don't have it, remember the library? It still exists, right?
Yes.
You can go out there, and there's podcasts, and immerse yourself in information. So I love that. I really do.
I wanted to say
the
something
other
else.
thing I would say, go ahead.
Oh, also in that research and conversation, I realized I was doing a lot. The reason why I knew it was called production was because a lot of things I did in school, that was it, like event planning, production. I was in a lot of organizations, and I was doing the things that I'm doing now. And I just didn't know what the name was. And I was like, oh, it's called production. It's called event planning. Oh, cool. Okay, that's all I was saying.
That's funny. And you did that by looking it up and seeing there's actually, it's funny because I was like that when it came to, like, I'm an advocate. And so when it came to food insecurity and somebody actually said the word to me, I was like, so you mean that's what I've been doing my whole life? I've been experiencing that my whole life. I just thought it was just adulting. I called it adulting. I didn't know it had a name, Sandy, your business plan does not have to be 30 pages long. I hate that they box you into these archaic ideas of what your plans need to be.
Right. Yeah, a lot of
just
that has
write it down
nowadays.
Or don't write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be one page as long as it's a plan. Now, if you're getting funding, you may need some other things, but just have a plan. Yeah. Whitley, answer the question for me, if you would. What were some of the first steps that you took when you first decided to start a business?
So looking back, especially when I joined Nikki, we literally sat down and started with what we had. Like it was very important for us to just analyze, okay, what do we have? What can we work with, right? To be content with what you have at the moment so that you can get to where you, where we wanted to get to. So literally some of the very steps really were literally us just starting with what we have, like, you know, and if that meant sitting, you know, on a chair and filling jars with a spoon instead of the machine that we 8 months later was able to purchase and get, then that's what it is. So literally, I was in her laundry room filling jars with a spoon, one by one, you know, labeling, like it was madness. And I'm talking about hundreds of orders. But at the end of the day, that's what it was. It really was all about, okay, analyzing what we have, working with what we have so that we can get to where we want to be. And so, I mean, there's no other way to really put it. We literally sat down and said, okay, we're going to give ourselves 6 to 7 months of filling these products however ways we can, and until we can afford to, you know, purchase machinery, a labeling machine, little things that would make, you know, the job a lot easier. And when we did get to that point, we were able to do that and move on to whatever next levels, up until the point now we don't even have to touch the products. Now the lab makes them and they just come to us ready, you know? So it's literally just knowing what it is that you have so that you can work with that, and then have a clear vision of where we were going. And so those literally were the steps, you know, for us in the beginning, with me coming in and, you know, helping her take this to another level. Yeah.
Awesome. And are you in those planning phases now again for this new business you're launching?
Absolutely. Yes. I have been, this has been the fun part. Honestly, is just networking and talking to, you know, other people, seeing, so just to kind of give you an idea, I'll go on different small business, you know, their Instagram or their websites, or I'll pay attention to what they're doing online and just shoot them a message and compliment them on the things that I see that are great. And then just shooting ideas to them on things that they can do differently just to help them, you know, and
value.
And
that
yeah,
seems to be your MO, is let me help you so much that you can't help but pay me.
That's it. That's it. And literally, I've had 2 people write me back and said, oh my God, like, thank you so much. I need to call you. We need to talk. Amazing. That's all I need. And it's really in me that I want to see us win as a people, you know, because for so long we've been like, how much longer are we going to be the underdogs? We're not the underdogs. We never were, you know. They took us from where we were.
I love that.
And turned us supposedly into these underdogs. No, we are royalty. We've had the whole blueprint to how things work. It's just that we have to tap back into it. And so I want to be part of that solution, you know, of getting people to understand whatever it is you want to do, go ahead, do it. And whatever resources you need, if I can provide the help, if I can, in whatever way, you know, help you see your worth, help you brand yourself, help you tell your story, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
And that's a great segue when we talking about roots and culture to go over to the Kente Club.
Listen.
And I'm going to ask you the same question. What were some of the first steps you took? Oh, you don't even need me to repeat the question. You was ready. Okay, you ready. Go ahead.
But so basically, like I said, Kente Club had two starting points, right? So the first starting point was the bras, right? That was 4 years ago. I'm gonna say 3.5. And remember, I just took apart a bra to make a new one. So I had to say, okay, I can't just, it's one thing to make something over something that was already produced. It's the next thing to understand how it was made. So it was really understanding the actual product that I'm making, right? So I found a wire bra maker on Instagram. He had like 17,000 followers. I'm like, okay, he's popular. I didn't really vet his page, right? I just reached out and asked him if he did wholesale. And he's like, yeah, you know, I'll sell you 10. And I had to go pick it up from him in like Miramar. When I got to the house, he's packing up his house. I started talking to him more. Come to find out, he makes all of the costumes. When you see Trinidad having their carnival and they debut it, he's the person who makes all of them. He's this Caribbean, well-known costume maker that I had no idea about. And he saw the bra I made, and he sat down with me for 5 hours. Wow. And showed me how to make bras without me asking him any questions. He gave me boxes of jewels. He gave me wires. He gave me a soldering machine. He gave me all of these things. And it was our first interaction. So for me, when I got getting started was really understanding the product from start to finish, which I really had no idea about. And the information just came just by talking. And someone basically, I felt like believing in what I was talking about, and information just came naturally. So yeah, that's kind of how it started for me. And I think it's really important with, with anything that you have or that you're producing, selling, whatever, it's understanding how it's made, even if it's made offshore somewhere. No one else should know more about your product than you. No one else should know how it's assembled, put together, the ingredients. You should know everything. You should know what machine it came through, what the temperature has to be on that machine, how long it sets. And that's what I think was really beneficial in my starting point, because no one could tell me anything about my product. I knew it in and out at that point. But before I met with him, I didn't know how to make a bra. I knew how to dress one, but I didn't know how to make it.
Yes.
Oh, you see how just by stepping out on a limb, you were able and sharing your vision with someone so inspired him to give up I'm sure he's a busy man too, to give up 5 hours of his time to a girl he has never met and show her, but just to show you, he wasn't at all threatened by anything. He wasn't holding information close to his chest, because you find that a lot of people will do that. They don't want to share the insight with you because they feel like you may do it better than them, or you could take, but he was up to that understanding, and especially we as Black women, that there's enough of it to go around. We're never going to run out of the need of bras, child, of cute bras, and Carnival, except for quarantine, ain't going away.
Right.
And not even that, but it's not just Carnival. It was people, just women wanting to feel sexy in her products. And he saw that value in her because she first saw it in herself. And he saw that she was hungry. When people see your hunger, you're not a waste of time. Mm-hmm. When people see that you have fight in you, you are worth the time, effort, and information that they have to sow into you. Because I'm sure you'll never forget him and he'll never forget you. And that's just, we're going to get to mentors later, but I think that is, I know you're blessed, but that is such a blessing. Like, oh my Lord, he could have charged you forever and a day and gave you supplies. What?
Yes.
Okay. And who knows? Like, you don't know his story. Maybe he was like, I can't wait to pass this on to someone. Mm-hmm. And no one came around or was worthy enough to be in receipt of that information, you know. And I think we might not have Curls Dynasty if they weren't in the kitchen filling up with spoons, you know. And I'm sure a lot of plus size women would not have had the confidence if one person didn't stand up and say, we can do this. You can't internalize someone else's fears of what you may become. Let's show them how it's done. All right, so y'all killing it. I love y'all. Y'all the best. As a whole, so you doing your thing. Oh, you on mute? Oh, something just happened. Oh, sorry, I'm on mute.
Vanessa, you're on mute.
So didn't I? I double muted myself. This is the phone stuff that I was telling you about. Okay, so we still have time. We're doing good. We looked back, and that is that foundation. That is that root work that we were talking about. Now I'm so excited. I want to move forward because I want to know what your dreams are. What does the future look like for you guys? So let's look forward. What are the dreams for the future of your business or your brand or businesses or your empire? I mean, I know we all want Kanye money. Did y'all see that he's now a billionaire?
Yes, go Kanye. Listen.
We want Kanye money without all the other things.
Right. Correct. I just want to be level-minded.
Gemini twin, though.
And yeah.
So this time, actually, I want to start with Kareen. Kareen, tell me what's the dream for? Is it just Kente Club? Are we doing something else? Like, I know you don't have to tell us all your proprietary secrets, but I wanna believe in your vision with you. I think that's powerful.
So basically, with the Kente Club, I find that I'm always innovating. Right. So it started with the bras. It went to clothes. Clothes weren't really getting, I couldn't get the clothes off my hand like that. But accessories, I found that I can get accessories off. People were connecting with it. So I really want to be like the industry expert for Afro-punk futuristic accessories and more. And I want to have celebrity placements. I want to be the brand that people think of when they want to find things that no one else will have. I don't want to have a brand where you can find 10 other things. You can find my product in 10 other places, right? So like one of my like signature products is my third eye cowrie shell glasses.
I have that.
Support.
I love it. I love it.
At the front.
And, like, it's so eccentric, you know, like I wear it and everybody's looking. And it's like, oh yes, you gonna see me.
You gonna see all three of these eyes.
Yes,
okay. Right. I saw them. They were pretty dope.
And the reason why I use cowrie shells is because cowrie shells was a form of currency. And so it really speaks about wealth and things like that. And I believe that we should wear our wealth, right? So, and wearing your wealth isn't always about the Birkin. You know, it's about, it's a wealth that was not just, that's fashionable, but it's also timeless, right? Because Birkins are being seasoned for the next, 75 years, but cowrie shells as currency has been a way of life for hundreds of years, right? So we can look up artifacts where people are talking about, hey, if you had this many cowrie shells, that means that you can make this amount of money, or you had this much money, or you can buy this, you can buy that. Kings and queens used to be adorned with cowrie shells on their crowns, different kind of body harnesses, things like that. So that's kind of what I want people to also understand is more so the historical aspect of the things that I use. Like, nothing I do is just to be done. There's a meaning behind everything that I do.
Yes.
So that's really, that's my dream. Celebrity placements, brand recognition as the go-to company for unique pieces that lean more towards the Afro-futuristic design aspect, but also a brand that focuses on you wearing your wealth. And
Yes.
Nice. I love that so much, because when we talk about homesteading and we talk about gardening, for me and my audience, it's very much, everything goes back to the motherland. Everything goes back to our heritage.
Yes. And
there's a book called Braiding Sweetgrass. And we talk about, especially in, when we talk about biopic farmers and, how we used to be majority landowners and now we're the minority, and we talk about indigenous people. When they brought us here, women, majority of women, would braid garden seeds into their hair. They didn't want to bring anything else. That was their currency, and they braided it into their head. And now they, we use it as a symbolic when we put beads in our hair, and we braid beads into our hair and shells into our hair. But they said, if I'm going to bring anything over, it's going to be the means to self-sufficiency. So I resonate with that story that you said, that they used it as currency, that these things that we find as fashion now have real deep meaning behind it. And I love that, because you connect. I, for one, am very conscious of where I spend my dollars, besides Uber Eats. Okay. But when I can connect with a brand because they have a story, that makes people want to support you. So I never knew about that, and I've been following your brand. I didn't know. So now it's like, okay, well, now I gotta get it because I'm trying to wear my wealth.
Oh,
Sandy, talk to me. What is your vision? Are we just doing brunch club? I mean, I hope you forever do brunch club so I can make it back to Florida. Oops. All right. You good?
Her connection.
All right. I'm going to move on to Whitley, and then we'll come back.
I knew it. No, I didn't do that. It just cut off. I didn't do it. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Y'all want me to call back in? Can you hear me, or I don't?
Yes, call back in because the computer's audio is off. Whitley, so tell me what's your vision? What's the plan? Give me like a 5-year plan. Give me some.
So the plan, honestly, is to cut the middleman out. That is the plan. And the only way that's going to happen is by having my own manufacturing and distribution center, which is very possible. It is possible. I am going to do it. I will do the research so that I can see how, again, we can cut the middleman out as far as producing these products, and not only for Curls Dynasty, but I'm talking for everyone. Like, I would love, brands like Mael or Shea Moisture to come through us instead of, because you got to understand, with manufacturing, they are the people who make the money. This is where it all is. That's where the game changer is. And so my train of thought and my goals and everything I envision is this big space, which I have the land for it. Thank God I have an amazing father who, came from Haiti, came into this country and literally made a way out of no way. And he was very responsible enough to do things like buy land and things like that. And so, there are certain things that are in place. It's just now I have to gain the knowledge and the wisdom to really figure out, okay, how we can go about having our own distribution and manufacturing company. That's one. In that same space, having a studio for the firm, for marketing, where we can create our own commercials, create our own ads, videos, and things like that for my clients. So the dream is big. And shout out to my sister, Whitney, who is actually watching. She is another, I have to shout her out because she's another hustler in herself. And she just said it, where the real hustle comes from. And that's definitely from, my father, our parents. And she's a realtor in Georgia. So shout out to her. She also has her business, Deja Vu Mirror services. So I just want to give her a shout out. But the dreams are there, and they will become a reality. But the plan really is to cut the middleman out. That's the plan. And we will cut the middleman out. No doubt about it. It's not going to be easy because I know that I think with these things, there are a lot of politics also involved. So It's easier said than done. There's, I think, one Black man that owns his own manufacturing company, but he can only manufacture so much. Literally, in the whole United States, there's one Black man that owns a manufacturing company, and so I really feel like it's going to be up to me to break this whole, whatever this chain is that's holding us back as a people from actually having our own manufacturing. Like the Jewish people can do it. If the Chinese people can do it, the Indian people can do it. Why can't we? And I know, again, that there's so much politics involved, but I ain't scared of it. I've never been afraid to ask, to open my mouth, to speak, to find where the solution is. And so that really is the next step for me.
I love that. I love that. And shout out to your sister and your father, for that matter. Sandy, come on, talk to me.
This technical things, please don't hold it against me. But my dreams, I want to be a global success. Like, I want my brand to be global. I want it past Miami, past Florida, past the United States, and that's all across the board. I'm no longer afraid to dream big anymore, because there were times I would get visions and it shook me, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I would speak on one, the Divas Brunch Club. Like, when it came to me, I was like, why would you, like, I asked God, like, why? Like, I don't have money. Like, it's a pandemic going on. Why would you put this in me, knowing the type of person I am? Like, I'll have a penny and I'm with $1 million dream. Like, no, I'm putting myself through some craziness. But I learned, like, not to be afraid. Like, when things like that come to me, and I have these type of dreams or visions to do something, I'm not afraid anymore. Now what I do, and I caught myself. I said, you know what? Stop. I apologize. You put that vision in me. Now my prayer is, like, put the resources in my way, like, make me available. Like, what do I need to see? Who do I need to meet? What do I need to do to make this vision happen? Because you gave it to me. So now put me in the place, put me in the position. What do I do next? And literally that's what happened with Divas Brunch Club. I tagged Jay and with Lean, like, last year, pandemic, I had to cancel the Pampered Brunch because of the pandemic. And I didn't even remember that until in my memories, like, Facebook memories. And I saw the postponement. And then I was like, wow, this got canceled, but I launched an entire brunch club during a pandemic. And I just hit my 6-month mark. And I'm like, wow, like, who would ever thought? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just would have never thought, like, okay, and this one over here with Lean, talking to him, I'm like, girl, I don't know what I want to do. I don't think I should do it. The price, no, you got to set your price. I said, oh, girl, bye. You're doing too much right now. It is too much. But not, like, so my dream, of course, is, like, just to have global success. I want everything that I do, every brand, like, everything, because if y'all know, everything is diva. You could be broke diva, sassy diva, chic diva. It's all of it, all the divas. I represent all of that. So I want just everything that I have my hand in to be successful. Like, I plant the seed. Okay, I planted seeds everywhere, but now I'm going back watering each thing that I planted so that it can flourish. And I can create jobs. I can create more opportunities. And I just become a global success, like, with everything all across the board. Like, I want to go back into I want to do fashion. I want to do, acting and different things. So, taking things step by step. And those are my dreams. Like, I'm no longer going to be afraid to do it, like, to go after it. So I just want success. I want to be successful. I want to get to a point where I'm so wealthy that I'm not even going to walk. I'm going to be carried everywhere. I'm not walking anymore. Carry me to my car. Carry me to the restroom. So I want to be that bougie.
I would love to see that. I would love to see you being carried inside a restaurant.
Wearing your wealth on your eyes. Listen, I'm not walking no more. I'm done. Like, no.
I just want to say, it's so crazy because she's saying that I got gangsta on her because she didn't want to add value to what she was doing. And now with this next brunch, she has a whole commissioner coming to the brunch. You know, it's been 6 months since she launched the brunch, and you have a whole commissioner coming to your brunch, you know? And so this goes back to, you can't be afraid. You have to let go of the fear. You have to let go again of your pride. It really is a pride thing a lot of times. You know, it's like, it's the pride, it's the fear, it's the ego. You know, you're afraid, or you may not think like where you are in your life at the moment reflects where you want to go. It doesn't matter. Right. It doesn't matter. You have to look past it, you know?
And I work with a coach, and she spoke with me, and a lot of the things that were stopping me, or I thought were stopping me, because we set up a lot of false, it can go both ways. We set up a lot of false dichotomies for ourselves, and we set up a lot of false goalposts for ourselves that nobody is pressuring us to achieve but us. And then we hold ourselves to the standard and beat ourselves up for not meeting a standard that no one else is expecting us to meet but us. and then you get into this cycle of self-hate and all these things. But also she said to me, you know, how does procrastinating serve you? How do these things serve you? And I was like, come on, stop therapizing me, okay? Don't ask me those type of questions. But it really is that we're never going to come out and say, I'm afraid of success.
Right.
But our actions speak differently.
Yeah.
That, you know, I love on TikTok, they have that 6-month challenge. Like, what would really happen if you focus on everything else, nothing else but your goals for a certain amount of time? Are you ready for that? Are you ready for what success means for you? Do you feel like you're worthy of that? And we want to say yes out of our mouth, but our feet show differently.
Right.
So I wonder, and I think it has so much to do with us as what we struggle with and things that we were born with, especially I know that we're in a Caribbean descent, but our parents, we come from a very complicit generation where you stay at somebody's job, you get a 401k, and you do these things. Right. And when you're navigating uncharted territory, to be the first that ever did it, or there's only one other person doing it, we say we want it, but we need to make sure that our actions follow suit. So I love that. I love everything that you guys have said. Yes. I'm going to move on to the next question because we are crunched for time. And I hope you guys are getting as much from this as the audience and I are. I hope this is a blessing to you guys as well. Yeah. All right. I love hearing my all right. So we talked all the fun and frilly things and the, oh my God, the pie in the sky. Let's talk about lessons. I usually call this blunders. So if you could do it all over again, what would you do differently? You know, if you could look back or the things that made you who you are today, say, you know, I really screwed that up. If you were going to mentor someone and you would say, you know what, I went through the hard stuff so you don't have to, let me tell you what not to do. Woodleen, I'm going to start with you. Give me some mistakes you made in the beginning and what you would do differently next time.
You know, honestly, it's so crazy because I've always said this about myself when it comes to helping everybody else. I know how to do that. I know how to do that. It's easy, piece of cake. Like the resources come easily, you know, I'm hands-on, but then for whatever reason, whenever it came to me personally, there was always this weight. Like I'm waiting and it's like, okay, wait, what am I waiting for? You know? And I think the biggest mistake a lot of us make is that you're waiting for things to be perfect. You're waiting for the right quote unquote time. You're waiting. The procrastination is real, you know, and honestly, for me personally, I know that was my biggest mistake. Stop waiting. Do not wait. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect, like, anything. Literally, it's like the Nike saying is real. Just do it. Just do it with whatever it is that you have, no matter how small it is. I don't know if you guys know of Danny Spikes. She is the CEO of Beloved Box. She talks about all the time of literally how she started Beloved Box with two $50 gift cards. Two $50 gift cards. You took the $50 gift cards, you went on Amazon and purchased, the materials and items you needed to make these skincare and body care products. And now I'm telling you guys, if you guys look her up, if you see where she has gotten, and I'm like, with just you give me two $50 gift cards right now, I am not thinking about starting a business.
Uber Eats.
Thank you. I'm going to go put some gas in my car, and I'm going to go probably buy me some lashes and get me some food at Wendy's. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking to start a whole brand. I mean, if you guys see where she is right now. So again, it just goes back to just do it. Stop waiting and you're waiting. That is the biggest mistake anybody will make, is just looking at your current situation and judging your future by that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Mm-hmm. Let it go. Let it all go. Let all of the like, we really are our biggest critics. We're our biggest enemies because we hold back so much from what we can really do by not understanding that we can literally take what we have right now. I know I'm talking to somebody. You can literally take what you have right now and move forward. Just press forward. No matter how small the gesture, the point is to move forward. So to me, that was the biggest mistake for me, is that I kept holding back on everything I wanted to do because I just thought, you know what, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this. I don't have this. Right, or I don't have the $10,000, which is supposedly, like, I guess the starter amount that, your average person would have just to start a business. Listen, mm-hmm. Two $50 gift cards. Like, every time I think about her story, it keeps pushing me. Like, remember, don't judge your future by your current situation. Just keep pushing.
Mm-hmm. That is such a word, and I wish we had a collection, like a tithes and offerings box for you, because literally. And that was last month, we talked about growing where you're planted. And we did talk about, like, you're so caught up in what the next person has going on.
Right.
You're so caught up at those business that has already made it.
Yes.
That you discount what you already have in your bag.
Yeah.
You already have 90% of what you need to succeed in you already.
Yes.
It may take some digging.
Yeah.
It may take some real life confrontation of yourself, but it's already there.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be in you if it wasn't for you.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, yes, love it. Love it. Okay. All right. Sandy, I believe in your audio. All right. Tell me some lessons. What would you do over?
Ooh, Lord. Okay, understand I'm from the old school era. So I did everything guerrilla style. Like, what is it, foot to the pavement? I was at strip clubs at night passing out flyers. Me, my best friend, and her brother. He's driving us. We're passing out flyers to get people to come to our shows. Like, so I say all that to say this, like, I guess some of the mistakes not really taking advantage of what was out there. Like, even though I'm old school, but like right now, for people right now, there's social media that's free. Be consistent. Like, do the YouTubes, the Instagrams, all that stuff. Like, whatever resource that's out there that's free, use it. Because I didn't have that. I didn't, influencers did not exist, when I was in LA and, going after my career. So take advantage of those things. I think if I could do, I'm trying to think of what can I do over. I think just knowing finances better, understanding finances. Because when I did win the grand prize, I didn't, again, remember I told you I'm emotional, I'm passionate. I turned what happened when we aired on television when did the earthquake in Haiti happen? In December or November? I think the earthquake happened in November, right? Yeah. So we aired in October, then the earthquake hit. So I turned the tour into raising money for Haiti and building homes in Haiti. It was all of that. And so I didn't think, and that's where still the business plan that I should have, went into more. It is good to do that SWOT analysis, just put in the little work in there to have a structure. Cause I was just like, oh no, we got to help these families. My family was affected too, but I was like, no, what I was hearing, what I was seeing, I was like, no, we have to do what we can do, because these big organizations, if everyone read the fine lines, like fine print, they're only giving 1% towards the cause. So what are you doing? Like, no, it's not going to help who we need to help. And I partnered with Haiti Cherie Heritage Foundation to get things done. And we started, we built the infrastructure, we had the land, we built the infrastructure, we did all of those things. And I just think, so that's something I would do over when I did win the prize. Like, okay, putting a budget together, like, okay, allocating $2,000 for each city. Take half, put it in the bank. You understand what I mean? Like, don't, my first show was in Beverly Hills. Now I negotiated still. I ain't pay Beverly Hills prices now. I ask questions. I say, hey, I need, I'm doing this. But, I think that's something I would do over, like, redistributing the money. I didn't mismanage it. Just figure out, like, do a budget. Because what do you mean budget? Like, no, here, the venue costs this and that, whatever. Definitely, what else would I do different? Like, the way I even got into that audition, I wouldn't change none of that, because I tried to go the right way. But, like, when something is for you and is ordained, like, everything is just going to fall into place. It was seamless. And I don't know. I think I would have. Yeah, those are just a few things, because I wouldn't.
I think that's a lot. Things. I think you because before, when you said you first started, you were like, I just go, but you saying now, don't be like me. Sit down and write a plan.
Right.
That's something that you would have done differently. Definitely. So, Kareem, last but not least, I want to know I feel like you have been like so organized through your whole thought process. I feel like you're very deliberate and you're very purposeful. So I'm wondering, is there anything you would have done differently?
Yes. Two things I would have done differently. The first thing is that I would have asked for help in the beginning, because I see how much having a team really has propelled the brand forward in such a little bit of time. And the next thing I would have done differently is, because I have been working in corporate, in marketing, digital advertising, social media management since I left school. In some aspects, I held my brand to a certain esteem where it has to look a certain type of way. I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. And though I do need those things, most people in the general public don't know any better. Mm-hmm. So regardless if I'm using this type of camera for this look and this for this and whatever, they don't know any better. So that kind of held up a lot of things with me sometimes knowing too much information also holds you back as well. And so that was kind of my issue. I knew and it affects me now, but now I really just say, forget it, I'm gonna do it. They don't know, they ain't gonna know, I'll fix it later. So yeah, those two things I would fix. Number one, having a team before, because my team now will wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and text PJ and say, hey, cuz, good morning. She'll say, good morning. Then, so I was thinking, you know, and that's how it is. You know, I have friends when I was making masks that drove down from Jacksonville. Girl, I'm gonna help you package these things up. I can't sew, but I'll help you package. And I just see how like it's efficient. I'm able to have my mind go to other things because my team is taking care of something else. And I know I would have been further had I not been trying to do everything myself, which is something I struggle with. But I'm getting a lot better with it. And like I said, being in a certain industry, knowing too much sometimes holds you back, you know? And that was one of my biggest issues is I knew too much. I need Google advertising. No, Kareem, no, you don't. You know, all you need is good SEO. Oh, my website doesn't have the SEO I need. And it's like, Kareem, okay, but you know, just certain things. So yeah, that was it for me.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. And I think that when people hear grow your team, they're like, but I'm broke. And I put it in the chat, but it's this has been happening with my brand. I'm pretty sure when people see that you're passionate about what you're doing, they want to get in early. They want to help you do whatever it is that you need to do because this girl's got a fire in her. And if I don't get on this train now, I might miss it.
Yes.
And people will give up their time. I think we underestimate the good that is naturally in people. And we come from especially as strong Black women, we come from a defensive place. It's like, I got to do this on my own. I got to do this on my own. And there's just people out there and we're missing it so laser focused who's saying, hey, tag me in.
Right.
So take a break from what you're doing and look to the left and look to the right and tag some people who genuinely love and care for you and want to see you win. Now, there's a few people in there who don't want to see you win.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll know.
Yeah, but you'll know. And the majority, nobody really wants to, admit this, but the majority of people do want to see you win. But it's so easy to focus on the small part that don't, I love that. I love that. So you are awesome. And I really was like, no, she got all her whole life together. She ain't got no mistakes.
Yes. Yes.
But I'm glad to hear that. And that's so funny too, because hate it or love it, you still watching me.
You're gonna watch this throne, baby. And that's one thing I always tell people, do not put your energy, don't put your energy towards the people who don't understand. Like, it's okay. Sometimes people just don't understand. If the vision is it's just not yours to understand. So wherever your hate is coming from, you keep that to yourself. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about my tribe. I'm worried about the people who are pushing me. I'm worried about the people who understand me, who see me for who I am and see what I'm trying to do for those things. Don't focus on the naysayers. Don't focus on the negativity. Give your energy to the positivity. That's what that's what you need to focus on. And trust me, you'll realize how much more of a difference it makes for your peace of mind. And for whatever it is that you're trying to do. So, yeah.
Amazing. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I was unmuted. Okay. So this has been a fantastic talk. We've gotten so deep because we only have 9 minutes left. But I skipped the question, but my last... Listen. That's one of my lessons is I wish in the beginning I had set boundaries and really not let people disrespect my time. One thing that I have learned working for rich white men is that they protect their time and their resources and their energy fiercely. You cannot come to a meeting late. You cannot go over in a meeting because time is money.
Yep.
And so that's one of the things that when I started Jay will tell you, I'm serious about my time. If they come in and it's like 10 minutes late, we're just going to have to reschedule them. Because my time is so precious. Because my time with you, it's not just the time that's making me money. I devote time to my kids. I have to devote time to my faith. I have to devote time to my self-care. So I'm going to have to put you on another day because I'm not going to give up the priority areas in my life, you know, but I didn't make that distinction. And there were years that my kids never saw me. My marriage was destroyed on top of that. You know, there are certain things that I let slide because I'm like, grind, 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 where that same grind and those results might have been achieved had I allocated my time and my energy differently.
Right.
So that's why we won't be going over.
Hey.
But I do want to just give you guys an opportunity to just one tip or trick to share with our audience that you have anything to do with hustling, entrepreneurship, growing your brand. What is that one hot tip that is like that money maker that you guys would have? I know we dropped a lot of them. So if you don't have anything, I get it, because we really dropped a lot of knowledge on this whole table talk. I can't wait. Like, I can't wait for the pod. I can't wait for the whole podcast to come out. You guys are amazing. Yes, I feel rich tonight because we dealing in calories. I think it is. I'm going to go to Starbucks tomorrow and drop a few of them on the table and be like,
listen,
it's not my fault you're uncultured, ma'am.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I need to get some from you, Corinne.
There you go. She rich over there.
Listen.
I'm wearing somebody else's wealth right now, y'all.
Listen.
Switch up your whole mindset on them.
Switch it all the way up.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with Kareem. One tip that you'd be like, you have an elevator, you're going ground floor to the 5th floor. Somebody says, how can I succeed in business? Boom. What's your tip?
Write everything out. Write all your thoughts. Everything. Make lists. Take note. Have notebooks. Many pages. Don't care who talk about how much stationery you have. I'm the stationery queen. I put dates, times, and cross them out and color coordinate everything. Because a lot of things, when it comes to achieving goals, it's visual. You have to look at so you can feel you can hold yourself accountable to everything that ain't checked off on your list that you were supposed to have done. Mm-hmm. So that would be, I do that constantly, and that'll be my tip, definitely.
Amazing. Me and Beline were just talking about how much we love school supplies. That's my favorite part of school, is the school supplies. Yep. Sandy, give me one tip. That's a fire tip. You want me to go to Whitley and you bowing out? Come on now.
No. It won't be one, but I'm gonna try to condense it because of the time. I think I would say, like, shift your mindset. A quote that I don't know if I made it up, but I think I made it up. When you build it, they will come. Don't worry about who this is gonna reach. Just do it. Build whatever it is, and they will eventually catch on. They will eventually come. And get into something, whatever you're launching, make sure it's passionate. Like, make sure it's for the right reason, not because it's a get rich scheme or scheme, or whatever. Just because a lot of times you may not see the money right then and there. So what's going to keep you going? What's going to motivate you? Because we didn't make money today, so we're just going to quit. So make sure you're passionate about it. Like, you're in it for the right reasons whenever you're launching whatever it is. So those will be my tips. When you build it, they will come. So just do whatever the idea you have. Just make it happen. Eventually, that audience, your demographic, they will come. The support will come, and and everything else. So
love it. You did a good job condensing. Let's go on to Ridley. One fire tip. You in the elevator. This is your moment. This is your time. Let's go.
So, for me, when it comes to personal branding, the number one thing I always think about and where I place myself is that everything that I want others to be to me, I have to be to them first. So so that's kind of like my overall life motto and rule, but I've also applied it in business and it works, right? So if I want people to support me, I support people tenfold. I will repost I will show up to your shows. I will show up to your events. I support because I know I want to receive support. I show love because I know I want to receive that. Everything that I know I want to receive, I have to be able to provide first. You know, I have to be able to be that first. So I tell people all the time, when it comes to business, don't just think if the only thing you can think about, and yes, we think about profit and we think about money and all of those things, that's great. But there is something personal about creating relationships, networking, getting with like-minded people that can take you to places that even money can't take you. I can have a whole bunch of money, but I can have a nasty attitude and I'm not personable and I'm not humble and doors may not be able to open for me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how much money sometimes. It's about being personable. It's about being humble, relatable, you know, being what you want others to be to you. And that's always been my motto. I've stuck to it. I've gained some amazing relationships because of it. I'm talking about to where I've had people who usually charge $12,000, $15,000, $20,000 just to give you a shout that would do it with their eyes closed for me. But that's only because I took the time to nurture a relationship, to nurture that person and what they have going on, to show that, you know what, I'm really interested in what you have going on. Is there anything I can do to help you? And that love is returned tenfold. So I really believe in building relationships.
She said she really wants to be the change you want to see in the world, right? That really sums it up. Yeah. For you. And I think you've done a great job doing that. And that's how you've gotten, you know, these things don't happen by chance.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't see her working out front, but you see there's value in everything she's doing behind the scenes. And everybody wants to be out on the stage, but there's only one mic a lot of times.
Right.
You know, so I think being comfortable, humbling yourself. I love that. Love that so much. Okay. So thank you to all of my beautiful ladies. You guys are amazing. I'm sure that everybody learned all the things, and I know they're going to follow you and they're going to support you. We're going to wear our wealth. We're going to have Woodleen get our whole lives together, and we're going to eat some good food and support the masters with Sandy. Okay. And I just know truly. And I know I even, you know, I put this together and I provide the platform, but you guys took it and you ran with it. And I'm so grateful for you.
And we thank you. Thank you so much, Vanessa. You're awesome.
You're welcome. I hope when I call on y'all again now, because I get all the feedback and it's like, I love this person. I got to call y'all back. I might have to call you guys back for some solo hours because there's so much we didn't get to. Like, I feel like we're just scratching the surface. Right. But let me close us out again for all of you watching, whether it be live on the replay, YouTube, wherever you may find us. This is 3H Table Talk. This month we were talking fruit work, and this has been the Hustle Edition. We, in honor of Women's History Month, we have women making history now. It is so easy to look back, but look at the women in your life and look at the women doing things that you aspire to do and how they showed how you can turn your passion into profit. I love y'all ladies from the bottom of my heart. I want you to succeed. Anything that me or my platform can do for all three of you, I am with it. I want to remind our audience of some upcoming events. Next week, Thursday, we're back on the right schedule. We're coming back here again for 3A Table Talk Root Work Healing Edition. We, again, are growing in and out of the garden. So we're going to talk about how we get to the root of personal development. Remember, we heard Woodleen talk and say, you got to work on some things in yourself by any means necessary. And we talked about that means sometimes has to do with your attitude. Sometimes it has to do with the things that happen as a result of some unsolved issues you have within yourself. So we're going to get to that root work healing next week, Thursday. Next week, Tuesday, I'm holding another workshop series. If any of you are in my beginning gardeners courses, we're going to talk about planning for pests. They're coming, like, what is it, Brood X that everybody is like concerned with. They're coming, but they're not going to destroy us.